Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica and today is release day for my American Pie Patriotic Quilt. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. If you're a return viewer, welcome back. So every year I love doing a patriotic quilt. They're one of my favorite quilts to make. Now I know a lot of you don't live in the United States, and so I did want to make one this year that was a little bit more versatile color-wise. Of course, I did mine in red, white, and blue, but you can do this quilt in any color scheme you like. As a matter of fact, I think I might actually make one in a Christmas theme a little bit later on in the year. I think that would go perfect with this pattern. So the pattern I'm talking about is American Pie. It is this one right here behind me, and I wanted to do something pretty fast, easy, and traditional. Sometimes I just need to do something that's fast, and I love making the more complicated quilts as well, but you know, sometimes it's nice to just sit down, do some sewing that doesn't take forever, whip something together really quick, and then have a fun quilt for the season. So this quilt is actually the perfect weekend sewing project. It took me about 3 days to do in total, and that's because I took breaks. So honestly, I think if you were really having a serious sewing session, you could probably make the quilt top in one day and then quilt and baste and bind it the next day. So it's really super fast. It is beginner friendly. This quilt features traditional granny square blocks with a little bit of a twist. I made that center block the background fabric color, and that way it just kind of breaks it up a little bit and it makes it look like a little bit of a different block, but it is a traditional granny square block. Now these blocks finish really large, so I was into big blocks the day that I wrote this pattern, and so this quilt finishes at actually 73 by 73. It's perfect for snuggling up under maybe an outdoor couch. If you're going to like an outdoor movie, you could do picnics with it. You could hang it on your front porch swing. You could also toss it over the back of a couch. So it's a great size quilt, and like I said, it comes together so quickly. So the fabric that I used on this quilt is my new fabric, my new line called Bloom, and I just pulled the denims, aquas, light blues, and reds out of that collection and put them together in this patriotic looking version. And then for the background, instead of using a solid white, which I do think it would look really good with a plain white background, it would really make those colors pop, I chose to do the low volume fabric from my Bloom line. I thought it gave it a little bit more texture and definition, a little bit of a cozy vibe, and I just love how it turned out so much. And then to add a little bit of a pizzazz, I added my star sashing in between the blocks. It's a great way to bring those blocks all together and give you a fun little side motif to feature on your quilt pattern. I think it really brings the quilt all together. It adds those pop of stars and then the tradition of the granny squares. It makes everything feel so traditional and patriotic. For the quilting on this, I quilted it on my long arm in my basement. This is just freehand quilting that I did. I did swirls, and then every now and then I added a star in, and I love doing that pattern. It flows really nicely. It's very quick and easy to do, and you can make it any size you want. You can do small swirls with small stars. You can do big swirls with big stars. I chose big swirls with big stars because I wanted this quilt to be nice and squishy and comfy and cozy, and I think it turned out great, and it really only took me probably a couple hours to quilt the whole thing. And then for the binding on this, I did my denim gingham binding from my Bloom collection along with the blue floral backing. I do have a white with a little red dot low volume in that bundle, but I didn't have enough to the backing. But if I did, I think I might have actually chosen that for this quilt. I think that would look really nice as well. And then of course I had to add a label. My label is from Sweetwater. I am part of their tagged subscription, so I get new labels every month. So sometimes they have seasonal ones, so they always have patriotic ones in there. And so that's what I added to the back of this. And I did a little bit differently this time, but I did border it with two different fabrics. I did a red gingham, and then I did a blue floral from that Bloom line. And then I sewed that label just onto the bottom corner of the back of the quilt. So I think it turned out really fun. Like I said, this quilt is totally beginner friendly. It was a lot of fun to make. I did it in just a few days, so it's a perfect weekend project. You could for sure tackle it and have it ready for July. Now, by the time I'm releasing this video, I do think that the Bloom collection is going to be sold out for our first run. We will be having more releases coming, so don't worry if you weren't able to get this one. Hopefully you'll be able to get one coming in the future. And we had a ton of requests for yardage, and so we are looking at doing that in future releases as well. We didn't do it for this first release because we just weren't quite sure of interest level. We were trying to keep things simple, so we kept it to the bundles and a few different backing options. I think going down the road, we are going to be able to try and offer yardage, maybe not on all the prints, maybe we'll just do ones that we know are going to be used for borders and backing and binding. So thank you so much to all of you for your interest in my fabric line. We were beyond blown away by the amount of orders that we received. We are doing this in-house, and so we're trying to keep it manageable for us, but also try and get bundles to everybody who actually wants one. So hopefully if you wanted a bundle, you were able to get one. But that's going to be it for today's video. I just wanted to highlight my American Pie quilt pattern. I hope you love it. I have not done a cross stitch for this quilt pattern yet. I know I was going to do both, but I've been so busy with the fabric release, I just haven't had time. So if I do release a cross stitch version of American Pie, I will make sure to let you know on social media. So make sure you are following me there. You can follow on Facebook or Instagram. I'll put all the links for all of that below. You can also get the American Pie quilt pattern in my store now. It comes in both PDF and printed formats. If you've never done one of my quilt patterns, they are full color patterns. They are super easy to follow. There are step-by-step written instructions along with graphic illustrations. So depending which kind of person you are, if you like to read or like to look at the pictures or both, you can do that. And it makes it really easy to put the patterns together. So I hope you're going to enjoy this one. This is probably one of my favorites just because of how classic and easy, but also cozy and fun it is. So I hope you enjoy this pattern as much as I do. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you for all your love on the Bloom fabric collection. We really, really appreciate it. You guys are the best. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to thumbs up and subscribe. That really helps us out. And then you can also hit that notification bell so you get notified anytime we upload a video. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I will see you next time. So if I do one,